1v1 Calderis Refinery, blue side. It's Dineil plays an Eldar Farseer support commander that fights in melee combat, lots of great buffs and some debuffs too. Up against on the red side, whitehead1981 plays a Granite Brother Captain durable commander that walks through cover and cannot be suppressed, fights in melee combat, good offense and support. Both players taking a natural to Eldar Farseer, using her fleet to get to hers first. One of her starting abilities, she's quite mobile on her feet, also has guide of course, boosting damage and range, and she's going to go for the central victory point. Here comes some strike squad from Whitehead, good all round heavy infantry unit, good in both melee and ranged combat in tier 1, and they scale quite nicely with their Justicar and weapon upgrades. 1-to-1 cap early on then, Eldar Farseer abandons the mid and strike squad will try to cap. They do not have the 50% faster cap that tactical marines and commandos have. Howling Banshees on the field, will Whitehead be able to deal with them? Here comes that brother captain going after the Eldar Farseer, using the other hammer to buff his speed, but he can't catch her. She just fleets away, and Howling Banshees are going for a very early power harass with their power swords. They are pretty decent at taking down generators, and triple gens go up for Whitehead. Engagement on the west side, stormtroopers losing out to Dire Avengers there, just get caught trying to cap out of cover, so they have to retreat out. Did not lose a model though, and now the Howling Banshees are smacking on the power generator. In fact, that was just cancelled I think by Whitehead. These two are built though. Strike squad now fighting at range with their storm bolters, not wanting to engage unless they have to in melee combat. Might as well get some DPS from range while you can. They can beat Banshees in tier 1 in melee combat if they are lucky with their special attacks. Both of these squads have 70 melee skill, so if one of them is caught moving, the other one can get a special attack in, which will basically win the engagement in most cases. 482, 491. When you are moving, you lose 2 melee skill, which is what makes it not always a great idea to try and kite melee squads, because they're going to knock you over. Stormtroopers with their sergeant boosting their damage and durability, also makes them a detector unit with a cover-to-cover firefight here at very close range. Here comes the brother captain though, going to tie up that Dire Avenger squad. They instantly retreat and do not lose a model. Shuriken cannon on the field for Dineil. Set up team with a Shuriken cannon that will suppress infantry, takes down a strike squad model who have gone for an incinerator, which will be interesting to see. Nice flamer weapon, also does very nice courage damage. I don't think it will suppress by itself with just a single incinerator though. Farseer with the ghost helm, you saw Mind War on the brother captain there. You can't suppress him of course, but it did do damage. 482, 463, Shuriken is resetting up. Here come Howling Banshees. Howling Banshees are very dangerous for a brother captain when he's level 1 without any war gear, especially his tier 1 force sword is set to get a buff in the next update, a damage increase. He's also getting some more changes. 482, 463. As it stands in a way, the changes are not final. Stormtroopers are capping their natural. I've lost 2 models here, and here come that strike squad. Now they are pretty damn versatile with a flamer, so they can bash gens, good range damage, good melee damage. But can they stay safe from the Howling Banshees, who have the aspect of fleetness, allowing them to jump over cover, and they get that awesome dual power sword. Exarch, are the Shuriken gonna suppress the strike squad? It does. Nice use of grenades though by the Stormtroopers. They can really use these to counter melee squads, or at least disrupt them, since they fly so quickly. Now the Banshees in amongst the strike squad. Banshees took a lot of damage from that incinerator going in. Strike squad did lose a model and were perhaps lucky not to lose another. Farseer couldn't get there in time to tie up that Stormtrooper squad, which were really annoying the Banshees there. There's a special attack, which is a pretty damn good special attack. The Farseer is very quick, and it's 360. 482, 433. 2-to-1 cap for Dineil. Not sure if I'm pronouncing that name correctly, by the way. And interceptors on the way for Whitehead. No sign of a purgation squad then to try and really shut down those Banshees. They did lose a lot of models there. So maybe Stormtroopers with their grenade launcher and the incinerator on the Strat Squad will be enough to deal with them, we'll see. 482, 411. Level 1 Brother Captain is capping his natural back. It will be a 2-1 again, and Webway Gate goes up on this eastern edge to help him bash that power there. Webway Gates are getting changes in the next update when they will now give way more experience when you kill them or destroy them. Triple the experience in fact. And they will also take 10 seconds longer to build. As a grenade misses, look at the damage those grenade launchers are doing to those Dire Avengers. Really allows the Stormtroopers to hard counter those Dire Avengers. Unless they can get a grenade on, they are just not going to stand against that. Look at the damage. 482, 380, 2-1 cap for Dineil. He goes tier 2. Whitehead getting his rather expensive interceptor squad on the field at 500 rec, 50 power. These guys are the most expensive jump unit in tier 1. There's the instant teleport though, and these guys do very decent DPS indeed. Unfortunately their tier 1 jump or teleport doesn't disrupt or otherwise do anything else, but it is instantaneous. Took some damage there from Mind Warp and were suppressed, but now they're in combat with the Farseer, and there's a special attack and she needs to be careful here. 482, 365. Is he microing his Banshees? Might lose this Farseer. A couple more hits and down she goes. Banshees were closing in on the Stormtroopers, but they lose 2 models, or did they not just not reinforce them from last time? I'm not sure, but Banshees are going after this power gen again. He must know there's a Webway Gate around here now. Farseer is down, and the Brother Captain is decapping Dineil's natural. Dark Reapers on the way. This will be very interesting to see the dynamic between Dark Reapers and Interceptors. Will they be able to deal with the Dark Reapers? They were recently buffed, I think, the Interceptors, in that their teleport doesn't cost quite as much energy to use, so they should be able to use it twice in reasonably quick succession. Strike Squad caught by the Banshees, and with the Exarch dual power swords they are going to rip them to pieces. They need their Justicar quickly, I think, to get that energy burst. 428, 365, triple cap for Whitehead. Brother Captain is persuaded to leave. Dark Reapers with that long range plasma damage are going to be painful to the Strike Squad especially. Interceptors need to get on them quickly. Brother Captain can also get a teleport, of course, in tier 2. Used to be tier 1 in the very early days, which I thought was pretty cool at 40 power, but it was moved to tier 2. 397, 365, single cap for Whitehead, but he is tier 2 and has a reasonable amount of resources. Could get a Dreadnought kinda soon. Dark Reapers have their Exarch and their aspect of Reaper, so it's not a cheap squad to get on the field when you fully upgrade them. 350, 30 or 40 I think to get on the field initially. 389, 365, that energy shield goes down. Here comes the Shuriken again, going to suppress those Stormtroopers. They can disrupt it with their grenade barrage, of course. 389, 365, but they just run into it and are forced off again. Some power harass from these Howling Banshees. Interceptors and Strat Squad there. Can they deal with them? Interceptors do not have their Justicar. Strat Squad do not have their Justicar, so they're just relying on their raw tier 1 DPS here. There's the washout, and they're going to use it to retreat. They would have been roasted there. Look at the damage that Incinerator did just for a few seconds, not even that. Interceptors were in melee though. Dark Reapers chilling out mid. Dineil should be a bit more aggressive here. I don't think he knows that Whitehead has nothing in tier 2 yet. Surely he's saving for a Dreadnought. Dreadnought is getting a change in the next update. It will no longer have Maelstrom unless it has its fist upgrade. It is getting a grenade launcher upgrade though, which would be awesome to see, which you can use in conjunction with its other upgrades. 389, 342, 2-1 cap for the blue team. Dark Reapers laying into those Stormtroopers, but Stormtroopers are regular infantry, so Dark Reapers didn't do a huge amount of damage with that volley. Interceptors suppressed by Mind War, and Doom is up as well from the Doombringer. Interceptors jump in the Dark Reapers, and this is exactly what he needs to do. Dark Creepers losing a model, but they do get away reasonably well. They really need that Justicar to get Furious Intervention. Whitehead, though, obviously wanting to get that Dreadnought on the field. Perhaps he is going to get the Fist to counter those Howling Banshees. Banshees chasing down those Interceptors, losing a model. This is nasty, losing another. Don't think they're going to get the squad, but it's not unheard of. Saving them perhaps with a nice grenade barrage. 389, 310. It's a 1-to-1 cap. Here comes that Incinerator. Howling Banshees chasing off the Stormtroopers in conjunction with that Shuriken, and now just running into the firing up to lure the brother captain into trouble. Can't be suppressed, but he will take a lot of damage, and now the Howling Banshees are on him, and he teleports out, destroys the shield, and ties up the Shuriken, and he's going for the Nemesis Force Halberd, which is a splash damage power melee weapon. Really going to put pressure on those Banshees, but I would have gone for the hammer, or better yet, got some Justicars up on my Strat Squad and Interceptors. The energy burst from the Strat Squad Justicar would really deal nicely with the Banshees. Snare them, then shoot them up with the Incinerator, get some more range DPS from the Stormtroopers in there, and they're in trouble. Brother Captain's going to decap, but this is a sneaky Dire Avenger squad that have also decapped. 387, 310, tier 3 for Dineil. It's not a good sign for Whitehead. Dreadnought is on the field though, and this is a big heavy hitter with that multi-melter by default, and very mean looking melee weapon. Can get another Fist for a full melee upgrade, giving it splash damage. You can also get a plasma cannon and an inferno cannon, a big heavy flamer. 375, 310. Brother Captain in trouble. Doombringer on him from the Farseer. It's not a power melee weapon, but does good DPS, and down he goes in retreat from those Dark Creepers, doing all that plasma damage, of course. Full of damage to commanders. 354, 310. Triple cap for Whitehead. And that multi-melter is nasty to generators. What forced it off? Oh, we have a Bright Lance up, that's why. For players new to Elite, the Shuriken is now upgradable into the Bright Lance. Not a separate unit. 331, 310. Double cap for Whitehead. And it's nicely poised because Dineil could get a Fire Prism, which would put huge pressure onto the Grey Knight Dreadnought. Strike Squad do have their Justicar now, but decide to run the hell away from the Banshees. A good choice, I think, with those Dark Creepers there. And this is 2.1, so this Dreadnought will have Maelstrom despite not having this second Fist. Banshees catching the Stormtroopers in retreat. Some really nice Banshee play, I think, from Dineil. He's losing models to that multi-motor though. That is crazy. They are just being exploded. Look at that. Down to 2 models. 324, 310. Fire Prism is on the way. Such an awesome fire support unit for Eldar. Interceptors do have their Justicar now. He gives them a power melee weapon, and it's pretty tasty in melee combat. Also gives them the awesome Furious Intervention, so Dark Creepers and Dire Avengers need to be very careful. Might jump on that Bright Lance, in fact. Just doing a lot of damage to that Dreadnought in conjunction with Doom. Wow, that's the power of the Farseer right there. 324, 310, 1-to-1 cap. Node goes down. Interceptors do jump in there. You see the Furious Intervention knocking back the units around its teleportation destination. Look at the DPS they're putting on. Almost wiped them there. Here come Dire Avengers. Might see a grenade. These guys have their X up so they can use Embolden, and they decide to just teleport right onto the Dark Creepers. Shut down though by Mind War, and now we might see a retreat grenade. Just misses it. A nice idea from Dineil. Couldn't quite pull it off. Fire Prism now on the field. Dreadnought now perhaps a bit of dead weight because that Bright Lance way outranges it, of course, and that Fire Prism can use a focus shot, which is great versus large targets. The Brother Captain, Stormtroopers and Interceptors really need to be live to shut down that Bright Lance. Really needs to be on it quickly. 324, 310. Farseer in trouble, having a fight with Strike Squad. The Incinerator model just kicking her there. 324, 310. Their Justicar does not give them a power melee weapon, but he's pretty decent in melee combat. It gives them energy burst and purification. 2-to-1 cap for blue team. Here comes the brother captain trying to tie up the Dire Avengers, but he's so slow. He's actually slower than the Chaos Lord and the Hive Tyrant and such, because he has that We Are the Hammer default skill. Nemesis Force Halberd. Are the Banshees going to risk engaging him here with Dire Avenger support? Surely they will. Just teleports into them. And what was that? Just about to do a special attack animation, I think, but then retreated out of it. 324, 291, at least that's what it looked like. Strat Squad capping the west side. What is Whitehead gonna do? Dreadnought can't really get a long range weapon. Both the heavy flamer and the plasma cannon not really a rangy weapon. 324, 278. Howling Banshees chasing off the Strike Squad. I think he should get the fist for this thing, and in fact he has, because he's still struggling to deal with those Howling Banshees without it. 324, 269, level 2 Howling Banshees. The brother captain's level 2. Eldar Farseer is level 2, and it's tier 3 now for Whitehead. That was a big risk. Fire Prism just sitting pretty here. I haven't seen him use this webway gate. In fact, this is another one. The other one must have been taken down. Dark Creepers capping western contested power. Dire Avengers are taking the eastern contested power. So look at the map now for Whitehead. He has barely anything. Just his natural victory point, natural power, and natural wreck. 324, 246. This Dreadnought, I think, on the whole, not quite paying off. It's been caught isolated a few times. That Multi-Melter was decimating those Banshees for a while there, though. 324, 23. I think you really need to keep your Stormtroopers in support of the Dreadnought at all times. Interceptors have their grenades. There's the crack grenade. Couldn't quite hit the Fire Prism. Here come Howling Banshees, but here comes that Dreadnought. Where is the Maelstrom? There's the Emperor's Fist, stun, knockback and damage, and Banshees in trouble. Interceptors would love an Apothecary to be around right now to heal them. Howling Banshee almost decapitated by the brother captain, who teleported somewhere over here onto the Bright Lance, I should say. 319, 233, that Dreadnought in trouble, and he spent resources on that fist. The cannon goes down though. Just caught trying to get in position. Forgot that it was on its way out of the HQ. Farseer might go down in almost the exact same place she went down last time, and down she does go. Can they throw their crack grenade again? They also get psychic grenades, which are actually free, I think. Psychic grenades don't cost any energy. But they tried to get the Fire Prism with that throw by judging where it was going to go, but it actually got caught or otherwise stopped on the brother captain. Here come Howling Banshees. That Interceptor's in trouble, need to teleport out. There's the washout, and there's a big Fire Prism shot. That was nasty. Interceptor's wiped. Strike Squad also wiped. That was crazy. Howling Banshees level 3. Good grief, with Dark Creepers helping out. That is all over. Whitehead cannot come back from this, surely. 282, 233, 2-1 cap for Whitehead. VPs are close. Well, that was an insane engagement. Wow, down goes the Fire Prism. What the heck happened? Brother Captain getting some rear armor hits with his halberd. Dreadnought now in amongst Howling Banshees. Dineil not moving them off. That's Maelstrom and that splash damage as well. Ouch. I think it does around 110 melee heavy DPS with the fist upgrade. Slightly more than the Space Marine Dreadnought. More in line with the Venerable. 257, 233. A double cap for Whitehead, but he only has a Dreadnought left, which badly needs repairs. He's getting some Stormtroopers. He's staying in this game though. I think if he did not take down that Fire Prism, we would have conceded. Dineil is a bit wreck starved. The Howling Banshees have done well, but they have been bled, which is pretty much always going to happen with these. Level 3 though, absolutely decimating those Interceptors. That Fire Prism shot just set them up perfectly to be absolutely owned by the Banshees. What is this? It's Dire Avengers capping. They're going to finish this cap, I think, unless we get a fist. Nope, fist is a bit late. 228, 230. This Dreadnought does inspire on melee kills, I think. Dineil gonna cap mid? Nope. He's gonna hunt down this Dreadnought, is he? With Howling Banshees, with aspects of Fleetless, with Doom, I think. He should be able to take it down. Doom and Guide. No sign of either of them. They're going after the Stormtroopers. That's a mistake, I think, with Doom and Guide. Would easily take down that Dreadnought right there. 228, 213 with those Banshees. There's Maelstrom. And now the Banshees are in trouble. Brother Captain chasing them down in retreat. Can he finish them off? Very, very nearly did. They should get away though with 20 hit points. That was nuts, and they are level 4 now. Down goes the Farseer though. 228, 200. Whitehead is still in this. Fire Dragon's on the way. Really wants to take care of that Dreadnought. And here comes a Land Raider Crusader. Now this is a big game changer. Now a 10-second delay, of course, for it to be flown in by the Thunderhawk. There we go. Look at this thing. Hurricane bolters on the side sponsons. These things suppress from long range and very nice DPS as well. Assault cannon on the front and a multi-melter on top. This thing also acts as a reinforcement point and provides energy and health regeneration. It is getting a slight health decrease in the next patch. I think it's down to 3250, which is not a huge amount. 228, 174. It looks like he's being quite aggressive with this thing. Dineil going for a guardian weapon team to get a Bright Lance out instead, since Fire Dragons would just be suppressed and absolutely decimated as they got close to it. 228, 169. Put some Doom on it, put some Guide on your Bright Lance, and that thing is all of a sudden in trouble. But the Farseer, of course, is down. Much easier said than done. But he does have enough red for an Eldritch Storm. Combine that with a Bright Lance and it could be all over, and the Farseer is repurchased. So this will be interesting. Can he take this thing down in the first engagement that he sees it? Bright Lance getting some free shots in here. The Avengers feel the wrath of the Hurricane Bolter. And now the Assault Cannon and now the other Hurricane Bolter, they are suppressed and losing health like crazy, unable to decap. 213, 169 Whitehead with a 2-1. Whitehead also has enough for a nuke, which is the Orbital Bombardment for Grey Knights. But the Captain level 5 now has the Holy Armor of Titan. Gives him the Immortal ability and decreases his ability cooldowns. As you can see there, Howling Banshee is getting absolutely owned by that Dreadnought. We're trying to decap. There's the Eldritch Storm. Such an awesome nuke versus vehicles. Shutting it down, locking it in place, doing good DPS. And it's lost half of its hit points all of a sudden, and Singing Spear is up for the Farseer. Did she use Guide? I don't think she did. I'm not sure if she used Doom. Sometimes hard to see debuffs on Land Raiders. I don't see it though. 186, 169, 2-1 for Whitehead. Land Raider Crusader survives. That's going to take ages for the Stormtroopers to repair. Brother Captain getting absolutely caned here by these Dark Reapers. What level are these guys? Level 2. Teleports away. Where did he teleport to? Oh, he teleported after them. Well, they've got into the Webway Gate. This is just a display bug in the replay. Now he's trying to smack down that Webway Gate, and somehow this Grey Knight Dreadnought level 3 is still alive, and everything gets out of the gate. Goes after the Brother Captain. Here's some help though. Use your Maelstrom, use your Fist. There we go. Focus down the Banshees now. 163, 169. They all get back in there. That Dreadnought is kicking some ass now. Some more Stormtroopers on the way. 159, 169. Now why not? Because Dineil has a fully infantry army. And Stormtroopers do pretty awesome DPS. Even with their default weapons, with their Sergeant. 152, 169, 2-1 cap. Full Whitehead Steel. I thought it was all over for him. But he's really in this. Dineil's been caught napping a few times, trying to get his Banshees in for that decap. One example, losing the D cannon was another. Bright Lance is now set up. Double Stormtroopers also, of course, very useful for repairing this Land Raider. This Bright Lance does such awesome DPS from this long range as well. Needs to put Guide on it. Needs to put Guide on it. Nope, she's going to retreat. Here comes the Dreadnought. Is the Bright Lance going to switch targets? Dark Creepers are there. Here come Howling Banshees. I'm sure he regrets, in hindsight, not giving them the aspect of strength. Getting absolutely owned here. There's Maelstrom again and the Fist. Man, a melee Grey Knight Dreadnought does not mess around. 137, 169. Whitehead in the ascendancy here with a Land Raider Crusader on the field. That Fire Prism loss now, I think, a huge turning point. The wreckage of it still in base. 137, 169. Dineil needs to get... What does he need to get? He needs to get some very strong anti-vehicle on the field very quickly. Maybe double Bright Lances or something. He needs to use his Guide more as well. And his Doom. Maybe some Wraith Guard. They do a lot of damage to all targets and can't be suppressed. Another Fire Prism perhaps. And look at this. Paladins on the way for Whitehead. Armored Asuran is up, which is going to help a lot. Time Field will shut down that Land Raider Crusader. 129, 169. Bright Lance sets up. It is in range and starts doing damage. You cannot get rear armor hits on a Land Raider, of course. Armor 14 all the way around. 121, 169, 2-to-1 cap for the red team. Web Brigade is still up here. Should get another Web Brigade, I think, around here somewhere. Would be quite helpful. Land Raider Crusader still not with a whole bunch of hit points, just over 1,000, and that can disappear very quickly in Dawn of War 2. 108, 169, a 2-to-1 cap for Whitehead still. Here comes some Fire Dragons, short range, melt infantry, good damage to all targets, and these guys really pack a punch. Guide is up on them, and they whap the Dreadnought. Yes, they do. Here's an orbital, catches the Banshees, catches the Bright Lance. Fire Dragons get away, but the Dark Creepers caught full on here. Banshees survive. Bright Lance just about survives, or does it? No, gets blown into the other beam. Banshees just about survive. Down to a single model, got blown into the Land Raider. Wow, that was an awesome nuke from Whitehead. Just as the Dreadnought goes down, does that. 83, 169. Whitehead might have this. Paladins on the field now. Terminator variants with Thunderhammers. These guys do awesome heavy melee DPS and passively buff nearby allies, more damage and more damage resistance. These guys are getting a change in the next update. They will give a health regen aura in the next update. I'm not sure if that's for all of your allies or just your Grey Knight stuff. 68, 169. Brother Captain using Immortal to try and cap his level 7, 1740 hit points. Here comes the Fire Dragon, but there are the Paladins, and they don't want to fight these guys. 48, 169. Dineil, maybe. Yep, GG. As soon as he saw the Paladins. 34, 169. Whitehead hanging on and doing an excellent job staying in this game, not panicking, making good purchases, and he takes the game. Dineil conceding at the end there. Wow, with a triple cap at the end. Nicely done. Some good play from both players, some not so good play from both players. I think Dineil did reasonably well all in all. Few mistakes, not using Guide when he could, or at least I didn't see him use it. Losing that D cannon and that Fire Prism were huge. Still not sure exactly how this Fire Prism went down with the Brother Captain just chasing it. But there you go. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.